Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the most polarizing player in all of fantasy football. We have a picture of Trey Lance up here. And last time on the podcast, I was talking about how this guy's getting a ton of hate, a ton of unnecessary hate. Not that I didn't really care about it and was just talking about it from a fantasy football perspective. Like, can we get him at good value? Now, all of a sudden, I don't know what happened, but this week it's all positive news. It's crazy. There's these graphs. How long we talked about this graph on Discord?
Oh
Just
goodness,
under an
the
hour, about
confusing,
an hour.
the
No, actually more than an
confusing
hour.
arm
Yeah.
movement graph or whatever it is.
Yeah, we
Right.
talked about for a little more than an hour. It was crazy about his throwing motion and his elbow angle and how it's getting better. So just this week, and that's not the only news I've seen, just this week there's been a lot of positive Trey Lance news. But the comments, I read the comments and I see what people are saying and the replies, they're still fairly negative. They're saying he's a bust and just just a very polarizing player. So I still think we'll be able to get him super cheap. Some people, I think, are realizing his potential a little bit more, as in his upside, his boom potential, his can he be top five? I've been hearing top five a lot too. So it's going to be really interesting to see where he's going. Let's just say your 12 team redrafts come late July. Right now I'd say it's round 11. Where do you guys think this guy's going to be drafted in 12 team redraft come like in 2 months or just under 2 months? What round?
Well,
I think. Oh, go ahead.
Go
Shane.
ahead. Go ahead. Go
Oh
ahead.
no, I was gonna say that. I think as the actual draft season comes closer, the hype will build, and then he'll start to slowly rise up. Maybe the 9-10 range, depending on what region of the country you're at. Obviously, if you're in the California area, you're gonna rank him higher than you would maybe on the East Coast. So yeah, I just think that people will start to fall in love with his upside, and the more you hear him talk, like in press conferences, I think the more you realize he has a great like presence about him and good head on his shoulders. Like you can kind of see him as being like the CEO of a company, like that's the type of presence he has when he talks to reporters. So I think that's what the Niners saw when they drafted him. That's why we traded so much capital up for him, because they knew that he had the intangibles and the talent to be a top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, definitely agree with the round 9-10 analysis. I mean, this is a one quarterback league, I would assume. So naturally, the position is going to be a little bit undervalued, or the value takes a hit. So like guys like Josh Allen and Mahomes are going to be taken probably round 3. So because at the end of the day, he's never played a snap. He's still an unknown. He's not going to be in that round 5-6 category. But with that upside, you saying kind of go by region, California fans, Niners fans, I could definitely see round 9, maybe even round 8 as like his absolute highest. Like maybe like there's one draft out there where he gets taken round 7, but that's really about it where I can see for Trey Lance in a redraft.
Yeah, I think he's going to really fluctuate because he is so polarizing, and it is going to be round 9-10, like what Mike was saying.
Yeah,
on average.
looks
There's
like that's
still a lot of
spot.
hate.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of hate, and it's to me it's kind of similar to DK Metcalf, and I don't know. I don't know what it is. I think people just may not have watched him, or they just don't see him pop like we do maybe when they watch him. But I definitely see the potential, and I saw it the very first second I saw Trey Lance. So I think it's there. I think the value where you're getting him at, the risk and the unknown is factored in, because it's almost a free pick when we're talking about potentially a top 5 quarterback. I could see like him being kind of like Jalen Hurts of last year. He's not going to get those rushing stats. Like he's not like as quick as Jalen Hurts, so it's not going to be the same stats. But as far as kind of like, oh, this guy can't throw and he sucks and this and that, like I feel like Trey Lance could put up just as many fantasy points as Jalen Hurts, and who would have finished, I think, around QB6 if not injured, maybe even QB4, something around there. So that's what I do see in Trey Lance. So with that said, I know I talked about he's risky and unproven. It's also a lot of really good quarterbacks here. We got later round quarterbacks like Tom Brady might be going round 7. Aaron Rodgers going late. Matthew Stafford is still going late. Like there's a ton of good value to be had in the later rounds.
I think Brady from last year was the best like value quarterback in redraft. That's what I saw.
It was so weird. And so, as I said before, last year was my worst year in fantasy as far as like season, like regular fantasy football season long and Dynasty. And it was my absolute best year in DFS. I won a ton of tournaments. And Tom Brady was actually on a lot of my teams. Like last year, but he fell off a little bit fantasy points when you needed him the most. Like, sorry, I didn't draft Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, who would have won it for me. But I drafted Tom Brady, who was number 1, solidifying that number 1 spot for several weeks. And then he just kind of was like, yeah, I mean, it was great value. That's the thing. A lot of things have to go right for you to win a league. And unfortunately, me drafting Derrick Henry in a couple leagues and Tom Brady in a lot of leagues didn't work out. Josh Allen, I guess, was the pick, but I'm late round QB. Josh Allen was going super early. Justin Herbert was a good one though.
Yeah,
could kind of get him good, and he was fair. He didn't really fall off or anything. Stafford was a better value than Brady and Rita. Shut up. I don't like that. It's probably true. It's probably true.
He had some bad games though at the end. Stafford,
he was throwing that like really stupid pick every single game towards the end of the regular season. It was really bad. Like
he had a really bad game against the Vikings in like the first round of the playoffs, I believe.
It was just
fantasy playoffs.
He was guaranteed to throw one like super unnecessary pick, and people were really doubting the Rams towards the end of the year. They're like, oh, this is supposed to be the Sean McVay team. And then the playoffs, they just tightened it up. They're good to go. He pooped the bed versus the Ravens.
Yeah. It's true. All in all, he had an amazing season. Top 7, top 8 quarterback for that price. That's kind of what you want. Even for Trey Lance this year, that's kind of what if he gives you that, that's exactly what you want. You'll be very happy.
You think he'll do better than Dak? Like, who do you think does better, Dak or him?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Next,
because I know Dallas lost some guys, right?
Trey Lance has more upside.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, who would you rather have next? Like, who do you think will do better?
That's a good.
That's not how I. So in my rankings, I'm going to rank Trey Lance lower, but that's just not how. Playing DFS, that's not how I approach the game. It's a floor and a ceiling, right? So who's the safer guy? Who's the It's obviously Dak. Right? He's done it. Of course. Good offense. Like it's just obviously Dak. Upside, more risk. He's like, oh my God, Trey Lance, he looks awful. That's how it could look one game, right? And then maybe the rest of the games is great. Or you're like, we don't know. That's the thing. So with Trey Lance, you don't quite know what you're getting. With Dak, that's the safe pick. He's really good. But for me, for the value, I like Trey Lance, quote unquote, could be league winner. That's more like league winner material. So I like him better. So I take everything into factor: his ceiling, his floor, his risk, where he's going in drafts. Like you got to count value. So I mean, we could do hypotheticals all day, but yeah, Trey Lance is probably going to be ranked, I don't know, 3 spots lower than Dak on my redraft rankings, if I had to guess. So
I think I like what Amar said. He said Dak over Trey by a little, but Trey over Hurts. I agree with that. As far as redraft.
Well, I'm going to have Jalen Hurts ranked ahead of Trey Lance too, but Jalen Hurts is not a guy I'll be drafting this year.
He can't throw though. I've seen him play a lot. They
don't. The team doesn't throw. They're the number 1 rushing team last year, and it's not like it's just Jalen Hurts panicking and running every play. Like
the games I watched, he was pretty mediocre at throwing the ball.
And when he goes,
but now he has AJ Brown.
Exactly, so, AJ Brown should help. But we'll see.
It's all scheme, right? A lot of play action, this and that. We'll see. So I shared my dynasty rankings, and because like I said, I had such a bad fantasy year last year in dynasty and redraft, it freed me. I just don't care anymore. I don't give a crap.
Nice.
It's just I just what have I got to lose? Like I have literally nothing to lose. Like I mean, I just don't care. How long am I doing fantasy couch for? Started in 2009.
Long time. 12
Yeah,
years.
like when no one's like really been doing it longer. I'm like the first fantasy sports Twitter account. I'm the first fantasy Instagram account. Not the best, but definitely one of the OGs. Well, it's it's opinion.
Facts.
I could be the best in some people's opinion. Fantasy couch could be the best, but I mean, I don't care anymore. And so I just did these rankings how I thought. And when, this is the thing, like I do not have that much rookie height, what's called rookie fever. Is that the right?
Rookie fever. That's
rookie
good.
fever. Yeah. I don't need to draft every single rookie. So a guy like Jahan Dotson, I rank super low just because he's like, I will never draft him. And that's okay with me. And it's okay with me if you got him ranked number 13 and you draft him 13, that's fine. Me, I think Washington is a terrible franchise. I think they make mistakes every single year. Like they always spoil it. They go to the grocery store, their first pick right there, the first fruit they pick, it has a bunch of mold on it. If not, they don't refrigerate it. Then it gets moldy. It's their fault. And then they have to throw it away or they have to give it to the 49ers because like our left tackle, Trent Williams.
What a gift. What a gift.
I mean, it's just over and over again. Like this is a very consistent thing they've been doing. And so I let a few people see these rankings. I let the couch captains, and I didn't know it would cause such ruckus. Everyone was just like, oh my God, this and that. And I guess that's what we might do today. I don't know how you guys are going to react,
but let's do it.
But these are my dynasty rookie rankings and they will be published shortly. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this just to kind of piss people off. I'm gonna rank Jalen Tolbert higher.
Ooh,
I feel like
that's not bad.
Okay.
That's not bad.
Because he's got a better quarterback. So I got Jalen Tolbert at 16, and some people are saying that's too high. I don't care.
So you're giving some credit to Dak. That's good.
Over every single Texans quarterback.
Davis Mills is kind of good though.
He is.
He's all right. He's
the best rookie quarterback last year.
Yeah, but you want to put your eggs in the Dallas basket, not the Texans one.
Exactly. I'm comparing him to Dak. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Right. Comparing him to Dak. Yeah. He wasn't bad at all. It's just they're another franchise right there that's known for spoiling their fruits.
Did you know that he was the number one quarterback out of high school his year? That's pretty crazy.
Davis Mills.
He's a 5-star quarterback. Yeah. So he has the pedigree from a talent perspective. But
all jokes aside, though, it was Mac Jones number 1 and maybe Davis Mills number 2.
I think Davis Mills was number 2.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Because Mac Jones was definitely number 1.
Yeah,
and we didn't even have that large of a sample size of Davis Mills, but we had enough. Yeah, and I think you would say he's number 2. There's a lot of terrible.
He was number 2 for sure.
Justin Fields was like a poor man's Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
very poor. Has college debt, medical bill debt, car payments.
Oh God,
really poor.
Unfortunately, he does not have AJ Brown this year. So well.
Yeah, he's got Darnell Mooney.
That's true. We can talk about him maybe, but
yeah, I like him. Hey, that's another conversation I had. Fishing in the Discord, who I disagree with on everything, finally agreed on one thing and was like, I really like Darnell Mooney in redraft. I think he's an amazing draft pick. He's going like wide receiver 30, wide receiver 33 in redraft. Last year he finished wide receiver 22, and I project him to do better. But let's just say the same, right? And so it's a great value. He's going to get a ton of target share. But then it comes in Dynasty, he just got traded in our league, the league where us three are in, the Couch Empire League. And I was like, good trade. Because I really like Mooney, but I don't like him as much in Dynasty because what's the future
Yeah,
the
the
Bears,
Bears
right?
can attack receiver, and he's not a
And
one. So
I've seen these things a lot. Like this is terrible because I forget his name. It's so long ago. But and another example would be like Marquise Goodwin, who's just not a great example. But I've seen these receivers do stuff and just disappear in 2-3 years. And the Niners had one, Mike. Oh, Brandon Lloyd. Yeah, that's him.
Brandon Lloyd.
Brandon Lloyd, who's
That was
kind of a
fun.
nobody. We went to like the Broncos, so like he was hot for a year and a half.
Yeah,
And he's just a
that.
nobody. But I mean, like, I'm talking about like this guy was like a top 10 fantasy wide receiver for like a year. And so that's probably what's gonna happen to Darnell Mooney. Like, if we had to guess. I don't know, but I'm just saying the future's murky, right? I got the crystal ball and it's full of a lot of poop juice. Right? It's very murky. That sewer water, right? That Florida sewer water, that Florida ocean where the sewer poops into the ocean. That's what the crystal ball's full of. I can't see past it. I can smell it. I can't see past it. And so right now, Darnell Mooney, a lot of targets, a lot of target share. Justin Fields can only get better because most games he was an absolute zero. Saw little flashes here and there. So he's going to only get better. So I like Darnell Mooney in redraft. Hate him in Dynasty. You heard it here first on the Fantasy Couch podcast.
Wow.
I agree, though.
Wow.
I don't disagree with that at all.
Does anyone have love for Velus Jones at all? Or is
no.
Okay, that's what I
No,
thought.
yeah, a couple people will tell you that, and they just wind down, like they'll end up changing the subject so quick that it's no one's getting behind that with any Mike. I'll tell you that.
Okay, I just wanted to see where the temperature was at.
People do defend it, but only for like 0.2 seconds.
He's old, right? He's like 25.
He's like a special teamer. Yeah, he's not. I mean, it's a tanking pick. It's like It's worse than like what I did in Dynasty. Like, I'm tanking and like the type of picks.
Is it worse than Kevin White when they picked him number 4?
No, I thought Kevin White was a stud. Risky, but like, I mean, he looked.
What happened to that guy? Just never worked out. Huh?
Stress fracture. Just never saw the field.
Okay.
He was he had a very weird injury history that kept going on to the NFL. But we see that a lot. Jaguars drafted. Man, who was that guy who was like basically like Megatron? I forgot. He was like Megatron. I think he went like 4th overall. This was so long ago. I don't remember any names. Google that guy for me. Man, what a throwback.
On the Lions?
No. The Jaguars drafted a wide receiver like 3rd
overall. Are you talking about Justin Blackmon?
Yeah.
Justin Blackmon.
Yeah. So Kevin White wasn't like that big of a stud, but he had like close to that kind of upside, like Megatron. And I mean, definitely not anywhere near that type of Julio Megatron prospect. But yeah, Kevin White showed me like, man, this guy could be an alpha wide receiver 1 and just never panned out.
Never happened.
Yeah, Justin Blackwood. There we go.
Yep.
Yeah, he was a stud at Oklahoma State.
I don't know if I agree with this. Chris Smooth says N'Keal Harry is a better. Is better than
Velus Jones.
I mean,
ours is not very high here,
That's the thing is like if Velus Jones makes like 1 catch.
Yeah,
boom,
then he's already better.
Yeah, made it. 1 deep ball, bro. 1 deep ball.
1 touchdown, he's way better.
That could easily change. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I think Mike Mattal on a screen pass could.
Sure.
If he gets lucky, could beat N'Keal Harry. Just give him the right screen.
That's true.
If Andy Reid's your coach, I think on a screen pass you can take it to the house. The way he sets up the screens.
I think so.
He said it, bro. You can't set it up any lower. I set the bar really low.
The bar is on the
worse
floor.
than that.
Anyway, don't hold back. Look, I know I'm the guy here. I know this is couch is my thing, but don't hold back, guys. If you want to poo-poo on my rankings, now is the time. This makes for good podcast content. If you poo-poo on it, or if you really like, just don't hold back. And you guys in the chat too. Feel free, let me know what you guys think of my rankings. So I got my tier 1 right here. We got Breece Hall, number 1, then Treylon Burks, Jamison Williams, Kenneth Walker, Garrett Wilson, Drake London at 6, and finishing up the first tier, we have Skyy Moore at 7. Comments so far.
Okay, so Breece Hall at 1, Treylon at 2. I have it in reverse, but I mean, I'm more of a receivers guy in Dynasty, so that's neither here nor there.
very
I think Kenneth
understandable.
Walker's too high at 4. I think there's a couple receivers you have below him that I think are better. Mike, what do you think about Ken Walker, Seattle?
Which receiver would you rank ahead?
I would say Wilson and London, probably both of them.
So you see in a year, like you just see Corey Davis going away in a year or two.
I think it's basically Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore.
Yeah,
like some third option who's like okay, but like not.
Well, right now Corey Davis. So you see him being faded away, like
yeah, pretty much.
Too old.
I don't know if he's.
I don't think he's as good as Garrett Wilson.
You mean he's gonna fall off? You mean? I don't think he's old technically.
Well, I mean, for like the Jets, I feel like he's old. You know,
he's 27. I mean,
that's old.
I don't
like Zach Wilson's like 19 years old. Like
I don't know what that has. I don't know what that. I'm just talking about how this affects Garrett Wilson in 2 years. If you think Corey Davis is gonna be just irrelevant, then
yeah,
I
think
get
so.
It.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense.
These guys are the future. Like Wilson and Moore are the future. Like they're gonna be 1 and 2, or 1A and 1B sooner than later. That's how I look at it.
I got
you.
I
look at it the same way. Drake London, I'm really into. Again, kind of similar how we were talking about Garrett Wilson and Elijah Moore as a 1-2 punch. I think Drake London and Kyle Pitts are going to be just a ginormous 1-2 punch. I'm very into that. Redraft, maybe not so much, just because, I mean, he is a rookie receiver and they don't have the best quarterback right now. But Dynasty, Atlanta's going to figure out the quarterback position sooner than later. I'm into Drake London.
All right, guys. I do get some crazy TikTok comments.
Congrats on your TikTok success, by the way. I think it's really good.
So I got a hater one. Not nothing hate about me, but hate about Drake London. And argue against this guy, because I mean this guy, I just feel like he's just like an immature young hater, but it's hard to argue against him.
But what does he say? He can barely what? He said
laugh out loud. He'll be great. So he's responding to someone else that this guy's obviously no comment, but he's responding to a Drake London lover. Laugh out loud. He'll be great. Laugh emoji. All he does is catch jump balls versus small scrub corners. In the NFL, nobody is letting that happen. Plus, he can barely.
What do you mean the Niners let it happen all the time?
barely get open because he doesn't have any route running skills.
I don't know. I mean, he's an elite athlete, and he's obviously a great red zone target, especially when you have Kyle Pitts like on the other side.
Kind of what this guy's saying, though. If you in a hater voice, he's kind of saying that. But you can't
stop him, though. Like you can't really stop it. I mean,
that's the thing.
If he's going against small corners, like he is gonna get the ball.
He is destroying these small corners, but it's like
there's a lot of small corners in the NFL.
Yeah,
it is different though.
His major knock on his resume as his profile coming in was basically he lacks the ability to gain separation. Right, he's not a good separator. So, but with not being a good separator, he has an incredible skill of getting that contested catch or 50-50 ball. So he might not
which is incredible athlete.
He can get up there exactly. So
his ball skills are elite.
What this guy is saying is just what the knock was. I mean, it's hard to argue it because he's just saying what the negative point was.
I mean, it's literally like what I was showing in my TikTok, the highlights right here. Like it is a lot of him just rebounding small corner. It's just right there. That just happened. That's literally what it like. I was like, dang, like, cause I do like it, and I like everything Mike's saying. Like, I that's why I do like Drake London. But then again, I do have worries about him, and that's why I am fully standing by ranking Kenneth Walker ahead of Drake London. It's tough though. Shane, would you like to bring up another point? And I'm kind of asking you this, but I think you would say this. There's a ton of running backs next year.
Is that going to factor in? 2 years actually.
So okay, so that does factor in. Like, hey, let me fade Kenneth Walker, and I'll just draft a younger run. Obviously, would be younger if I draft him next year or 2024.
And I'm thinking better. A lot of us are thinking better too.
Yeah, and that's
definitely factors in.
That's
but
a possibility.
Just taking 2022 in a vacuum, right? I still think just because receivers are the longevity for dynasty kind of matters, and it leans in the favor of receiver and running back. I think just for that reason, like for me, I would probably have Breece Hall, Treylon in like their own tier, just because I really like those two guys ahead of everyone. And then after that, maybe same tier for all the 3 through 6. I'll get to Skyy Moore in a second. 3 through 6 probably in the same tier, but then I would just probably have the receivers ahead of Ken Walker just because my preference is receiver. I'm not gonna like knock it down completely to the point where I'm gonna obliterate you for having Ken Walker at 4. I think that's it's fine, just not for me, but I don't hate it.
Yeah, he's a guy I looked at a lot. Rashad Penny, believe they declined his 5th-year option, just signed a 1-year option. He's always hurt. He's a good running back, not great. No, not great. He's good, okay. And then Chris Carson, we don't know his future. He's always hurt. That's what we do know. Future's very murky. And the Seahawks, I mean, I think out of any team, they communicated the loudest with what they're going to do. Like, they're like, we're going O-line, we're going running back. And I think they like Kenneth Walker a lot. And I think they're going to use him. So sort of sneaky this year. And I think next year he could explode. And then, as you guys probably saw in my videos and TikToks, I talk about how I do think he will catch passes, even though his knock is he won't catch any passes. I think that's just not true. And even if it is, I think he'll learn and catch passes within 1 or 2 years.
What do you think that backfield looks like in terms of just like a percentage of carries for this year? Because they got Penny, who's going to get some. Carson might not, like you said.
If they're healthy, Kenneth Walker will not be used that much, because they're a very bad team. So
he's purely a guy for down the road, you're thinking.
But by the time we end this podcast, Chris Carson and Rashad Penny could get hurt. So
this is true. Okay.
Rashad Penny was just held out of practice last week for tightness of hamstring. So it's like, I mean,
when he was a kid, they used to call him Mr. Glass.
Oh, fun fact, though.
There we go.
I definitely knew that was good, because we've used that on since 2009. We've used that like 10 times. Yeah, so I knew that was a joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the people that have been just tuning in the last 2 years, that was a total joke. Nobody called him Mr. Glass.
That's an unbreakable reference.
Unbreakable.
For all you film buffs out there.
Absolutely.
Sort of a trilogy with that film.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
M. Night Shyamalan, sleeper trilogy.
Very sleeper.
Oh, Judge Ito. Oh, some more fantasy couch lore. It took me 42 minutes to convince Mike that they named Ito Smith after Judge Ito.
I didn't want to believe it.
Hey, it's kind of, and we don't, when we're talking about that, we don't want to get canceled. Say something stupid. We're talking about O.J. Simpson. We're talking about babies. We're talking, just like so many, you can really slip up. So you got to be careful on a live podcast. But he did get named after the judge in O.J. Simpson's trial. Judge Ito. His parents thought he looked like
Judge Lance Ito. To be fair, once I saw the baby picture, I could see the resemblance. You
gotta think, if it's during the trial, like it's peak trial time. Judge Ito is like a top 4 celebrity. No one's doing. There's no Twitter. No Twitter. No nothing.
Yeah.
That trial was everything.
It was top of mind for sure. So.
There's literally Amir. There's literally an article titled like "What happened?" Like "What's Judge Ito doing now?" If you really want to find it, I don't want to read that, but there's a picture of him much older, and you can literally find out what he's doing now.
He's living in Hawaii.
Judge Ito, if you'd like to.
I mean. Back to Dynasty rankings.
All right, back to football.
I can dig Garrett, because Garrett Wilson is the supreme elite athlete. And Jameson Williams, to me, I mean, you can even rank him lower, but to me, see, every league has a rebuilding team. I don't think I'm in any dynasty like where no one's trying to rebuild. Like That sounds stupid. Every league
Everyone but
has
Scope.
no. Every league has one or more rebuilding teams. No,
Right.
I mean,
No,
like
I'm
total,
just kidding.
like tanking. Yeah.
Yeah, teams who are throwing away this next upcoming season, building for the future.
And I think Jamison Williams should be highly considered for those teams because, how we're doing it. I'm trying to get a high draft pick, and that's why I love picking Jamison Williams. I think Jamison Williams and Garrett Wilson, two absolute studs this year. A lot of things have to go right with Garrett Wilson, but I have no knocks on Garrett Wilson as a prospect, though. Zero. Jamison Williams injury, that's about it. And I think all three of us like Treylon Burks.
Yes. I'm in love with him. Love him.
I love it. Yeah. I think there's a realistic shot he could be better than AJ Brown.
Wow,
it's his pro comp.
Whoa.
AJ Brown.
I mean, like next year or like eventually.
I'm just talking career. So I didn't. Wow. Yeah, it's very hard to judge this year alone, but this year he doesn't have that much competition. And people are talking about Robert Woods. I think he's coming off a major injury. People are kind of forgetting that. So, and he's kind of old. He's at least 29, I think. Robert.
Yeah, he's pushing 30 for sure.
Woods' age. I think he's 30, but
I think he's 29.
30.
No, he's 30.
I know I do that always because I always when I start talking, I exaggerate, so I always hit -1.
Yeah,
it's just a natural thing. So I knew he was 30, but I say 29 to look better. But he's 30.
Smart. Damn, he is 30. Wow.
I mean, it's definitely looking like the Trey Lance show in Tennessee. That's for
certain. For sure.
I'm a big fan of that.
A lot of play action. Okay, and then let's get to my number 7 guy, Skyy Moore, who I ranked higher than the consensus.
I think it's a little too high to put him in the same tier as all these guys. I don't think he's as good as Treylon, J-Mo, Garrett Wilson, London. He was also drafted kind of in that same sentiment because if he was as good as these guys, he would have been taken instead of, let's say, Jahan Dotson, for example. To me, he belongs. I don't have a problem with Skyy Moore at number 7. I just think he belongs in a similar tier with Christian Watson and Chris Olave. I think those three guys are more comparable, more similar, boom bust upside type of plays. I mean, obviously there's risk for any rookie, so no one's like a safe play necessarily, but I think Garrett Wilson, Drake London are a little bit safer than Skyy Moore, Watson, and Olave. What do you guys think?
I agree with that. I think I agree with that. Yeah.
You can suck it, Sushan.
Let's go.
That guy got that guy. I think Skyy Moore is a rebounder. I think he can go and get the ball. And
how tall is he?
He's not tall. That's why, he's like kind of more like he plays kind of like Odell Beckham. Like he's a go-getter. Like he goes and gets the ball.
Incredible separator. We were talking about Drake London not being a good separator. Skyy Moore is the exact opposite. I would argue he's probably, of these guys you have listed here, the wide receivers, he's probably the best separator on the screen right now.
If you combined Marcus Mariota, Desmond Ridder, and whoever that Oscar Mayer dude is, every Atlanta quarterback, if you combined them all into a super quarterback and added a random prospect quarterback in there, they still wouldn't be as good as Patrick Mahomes.
True.
I think
this is fact.
I think Skyy Moore has if I had to project it, I think he'll be the number 1 wide receiver on that team next year. Travis Kelce is how old? Where's my producer? I get Drew here. I'm tired of Googling all this stuff.
Travis Kelce, 33?
32.
32? 33?
Turning 33 in a couple months here.
So he's definitely surpassing Mecole Hardman, in your opinion.
Bro, again, Mike, I think you've surpassed Mecole Hardman. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is still ahead of you on the depth chart, but I think Mecole. I think you've surpassed Mecole Hardman on the depth chart.
Wow.
So he's long. Hard. Yeah, I have Mecole Hardman in Dynasty. That's a throwaway. It's a waste of roster space.
Just making sure.
Yeah, no, it'd be great. Like, okay, he works out. I have him on diet. Like, trust me, he sucks. Like, that was a bad pick. So in redraft, I like Juju more this year, but Skyy Moore next year could be the wide receiver 1. And I don't know much about Justin Ross. Everyone like what? So these guys are telling me like there's just a small chance he's gonna have a career. I don't know about this major injury. He went undrafted. That kind of speaks volumes.
Yeah, it's serious.
He'll be practice squad. He'll be practice squad. There's no way he's making the 53.
Yeah, I would agree with Mike. I don't think he's making the 53.
Why though? I see no one has like an answer.
Too many
medicals are too bad. Medicals are just too much of red flags. I mean, we're talking about a major spine/back injury, and then he comes back, does nothing, and then gets hurt with like a foot fracture or something. So it's just one after another, and then the only time he actually did well was with the god himself, Trevor Lawrence. So he hasn't really proven anything aside from 1 year.
So he's saying he's almost washed because of the injuries and just everything right. As a young man. Okay.
See, at least with who was that corner? Derek Stingley. At least with Derek Stingley. See, the knock with him was that he had a great 2019, and the last 2 years we didn't see it. And he was hurt and whatever, fine. But first of all, the injuries are not as concerning as Justin Ross. And then 2, when he did come back, it's not like he totally lost it. He was still okay. He just wasn't as sharp. For Justin Ross, injuries were worse, and he came back. We saw him. He did not look the same. He looked way worse. So you saying he's washed with these injuries, that's actually a pretty decent assessment, even though we're talking about a guy who's not even 24,
No, it happens. I mean, this is a dangerous sport, and injuries do happen in all sports, but especially football. All right, so that's why he's really tied to Patrick Mahomes here. Tyreek Hill is gone. Like, I mean, I don't see Skyy Moore being shipped off in 4 years. Like, it's just unlikely. So I think he's tied to Patrick Mahomes. Kelsey's getting older. Juju's on a 1-year contract. Even if he stays, that's all good. And when I watch tape, man, on Skyy Moore, he pops to me. Like, I see something special. Maybe he's a little raw.
Yeah, definitely.
Needs to train with these NFL guys. Didn't face much competition.
Let me ask you one question. Kind of looking a little bit down the road for the Chiefs. Do you think Skyy Moore could be an X, like an alpha X outside type of guy, like a true 1 on the team? Because when Kelsey is gone, let's say Skyy Moore is only a slot / maybe Z or something for the outside, and they bring in, like a Garrett Wilson type or like a Treylon Burks type presence a couple years down the road once Kelsey is kind of done. I mean, then Skyy Moore wouldn't really ever become the 1 in Kansas City, right? Because it will be Kelsey right now, and then let's say they draft an X receiver, they don't believe Skyy Moore would be one, then Skyy Moore would continue to remain as the second option on the offense moving forward. So what do you think of that?
I don't know where he lined up. Actually, I got it.
He's a little versatile, a little bit of both.
That's what I thought. That was what I thought. Okay, yeah. So he said slot snaps, wide. So he lined up wide more than slot, but it's not. It's 140. Okay, his last year, 140 snaps in the slot, 265 wide. And that's what I was Odell, right? Odell,
right.
Odell, even though he's not super tall, can line up on the outside. So, and I think he plays slot. So I think he line him up whatever. That's wide receiver 1, whatever it needs to be. I don't know how it's gonna work out per se. But I mean, I think he can play X. I mean, it seems like he played X in college, at least some. So
that's something that I look for a lot, because when you're an X wide receiver, you naturally get, in most offensive games, you naturally get most of the targets. So if you're an X, that kind of is attractive to me. So I do kind of agree, though.
The slot is more consistent, though, and if you're again, it's Patrick Mahomes. So if the guy is good, so we're talking about Hall of Fame coach, we're talking about Hall of Fame quarterback. We're talking about a great offense, and we're talking about a passing offense. So if Skyy Moore's really good and he's in the offense and he's the wide receiver 1 or wide receiver 2, That's all I need, because we are like I was just talking every day I say this. Oh, he's not Peyton Manning. I forgot who we were talking. We're talking about some tight end. I was like, dude, that's not Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning in his prime could support 4 receivers, a tight end and 3 wide receivers. Some guys like it. Even Herbert and Tom Brady last year, they can barely support 3 wide receivers. Like, some guys could support 3 wide receivers. Most quarterbacks can't. Patrick Mahomes can do that if need be. Yeah, it was, always Tyreek Hill and Kelsey. But like I said, Tyreek Hill is gone. Kelsey is aging. Like, so even if Skyy Moore is the number 2 target, come on. That's great. And even if he's slot, that's a consistent guy. We're not going for a tournament. This is, I like consistency. OBJ is an inch taller than Moore. Oh, not according to the websites I looked at. Is this right?
Same size,
right?
I think
they're both 5'11". I'm looking at this site though, so this is my go-to player profile. Oh no, he's right. 5'10".
Okay.
5'10", 191 pounds. Odell, 5'11", I think. It's not searching. Nope. Odell, I believe.
What's his 40 time?
Good.
Oh, yeah.
5'11", 198 pounds. So Odell's just slightly bigger.
Slightly thicker.
Odell's 4.43 40 time.
I think
Skyy Moore is 4.41. Yeah.
Wow, he's oh no. He's slower, faster,
slightly
faster, just by a hair.
Wow!
And I don't want to come on here and talk about his speed. That because I feel like a lot of people argue against that. So that's not even why I like. And he is fast. That's not. I'm not going to go on here and talk about his speed. First of all, there's a lot of speed here. So
yes.
Garrett Wilson, Jamison Williams, for his size, Treylon Burke is fast. Because he's a big guy. He's an alpha wide receiver. He's built like an alpha. All right, I feel like we got to move on.
Yeah.
My God.
I like the tier, though. I like the list. It looks pretty good. I like your beginning of tier 3. That's all I'll say. I like the first guy in tier 3 a lot.
And Christian Watson, I was a pretty big fan, but with Aaron Rodgers' age, I'm just like, who's the, from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers, and it's going to end. Nobody wants to admit this. You guys don't want it. You don't want it in your head, because I know it's so sad when Peyton Manning retires. It's going to be so sad when Brady retires again. It's going to be so sad, when these guys retire. I'm telling you right now, it's going to happen. Aaron Rodgers is going to retire soon. He can't play forever. He's 38 years old. It's gonna happen.
He's got like 4 years. He's got like 4 years left.
You
4
don't
years
know
left.
that.
I mean,
first of all,
4 years left. Christian Watson should be in play.
First of all, you don't know that. First of all, he's a weird dude.
Right.
So don't
maybe
tell
not
me
with the Packers, but I think for the rest of his career, like he has at least 4 more years.
I'm only talking about Christian Watson here, so I'm only talking about the Packers.
Just Green Bay.
Okay.
Yeah.
If he plays someplace else, it doesn't matter. Sure, he can play he can play on the Dolphins for another 10 years, and it's not going to affect this. So I'm talking about Christian Watson. Like, I was a pretty big fan. I love his upside, but right now, who I really love, it's going to be a lot of Aaron Jones. It's going to be a good amount of AJ Dillon, and we just don't know what's going to happen with this offense. And Christian Watson, there's a really good chance he does nothing the first year.
Really?
You got to put every Green Bay rookie wide receiver has done nothing under Rodgers. So I'm just tempering expectations. Oh man, I could be eating my words week 1, because this guy is not talking about speed. This guy is fast. And Aaron Rodgers, they should be good. But we're talking about Romeo Dubs. It could be more polished. There's a lot, some people are just, the noob fantasy owner is going after Alan Lazard. We don't like him, right? You guys aren't on this Alan Lazard hype train.
Never.
No.
Please. Thank you.
Not on that.
So, he's going to be a starter, but not talking about, he's not going to be major fantasy relevant. So you got Alan Lazard. You got another rookie. I think the wide receiver 1 could be Sammy Watkins. I also do believe he's injury prone. That's not that, but wide receiver 1 could be Sammy Watkins. Alan Lazard probably going to do a lot of run blocking. Christian Watson, he's going to be given the opportunity with his draft capital. But then, you do have Romeo Doubs, and you have a lot of other guys on that roster. You got Robert Tonyan, like I said, Aaron Jones, heavily involved in the offense. AJ Dillon is starting to catch passes. He's going to be involved in the offense too. So I don't know.
I like your take on Tonyan. I think he's due for a bounce back season. Post hype.
Yeah, he's got good traits. I still like him.
I like him as a flyer. That's what I like.
Yeah,
I like his value. I mean, he's your last pick. The very last pick in fantasy, other than kicker and defense, if you play that.
He could hit though.
That's what's awesome. He's going round 13, so that's pretty much your last pick. Round 13, round 14. Robert Tonyan, what was it? What did I say? 29 vacated red zone targets from Devontae Adams.
A lot.
Big shoes to fill.
They didn't draft any tight ends. I mean, he's the tight end. He walks in the tight end locker room and it's just him. Right? He's using the water fountain. He's using the spa. He's pooping on his own toilet. Like, that's him. He's a big daddy tight end, man. Robert Tonyan, baby. What about this? Are we over this, Sushane?
I'm done.
You want to talk about? Does this hurt your feelings? Is this painful?
It was a 1 year. We had a little honeymoon. It was a little, little sparks were flying, but then the sparks died.
Someone mentioned Amari Rodgers. Sushane says he's over it. Okay, what about your other guy who you liked more, De'Ami Brown?
Oh, no.
Yeah, I remember that.
Also gone.
What?
Your advice.
Why?
Washington? Yeah, come on.
Why?
Goodbye. No, it didn't work. I thought if there's.
How do you know this? How do you know?
Now, okay,
it's been 1 year.
Now they got.
Who was his quarterback?
Who cares who his quarterback was?
Washington with their picks. Oh my God, they're all so good.
If they just got a guy they already had McLaurin, so there's no chance Diami is going to be the one.
You never thought that though. You never told me that. You never said, "Oh, Diami is replacing McLaurin." That was never your thing. You were thinking he'd be the Robin to the
prospect than Diami, and I don't like either of them. If I don't like Jahan Dotson, how do I like De'Ami Brown?
Didn't you draft De'Ami Brown in our regular draft?
Yeah, I did the last.
I drafted him in every league, bro. Every league.
What?
Yeah,
you're in 2 leagues with Sushane. You probably drafted him in both. but the one you're mentioning is redraft, so that's a lot.
Man, everyone's like, "What happened?"
The rookie wide receiver strat did not play out well.
Hey, I'm one of my bigger mistakes. That I'm still learning. Hey, you got to learn and grow. Don't draft a bunch of rookies in redraft, guys. Don't do it.
Never work.
I never really did it, but I did kind of do it in our couch league, and it didn't work.
Never works. It will never.
Did not work.
That's one of my philosophies.
Rookies are cool. Later rounds, sporadically here and there. You want to dip in the pool. Put your feet in the pool, test the temperature. But no, man, if you dive in that pool, oh my god.
Chase was an exception. Chase was good. Obviously
that was risky at the time, but that's cool. That's it. You can get a couple. That's the thing. Just don't go on a rookie streak.
Yeah.
That's all.
Don't
take
have more
off
than
your
one
clothes and jump in.
Yeah.
You can have more than one if it's a late rounder.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's fine. Round 30,
it probably won't work.
I drafted Calvin Ridley his rookie year, and he wasn't that great or anything, but I'm just saying I probably got him round 11, 12. Who cares?
Although this year may be different. I mean, these guys
like Treylon Burks, I'd take him in round 7. I don't care. I'm doing it. Sure. Who else are they gonna throw to?
Right.
That's a good rule of thumb. Chris Smooth says 2 rookies is usually how many I look to get.
Total.
People like to quantify things. 2 rookies in a 16 round redraft is about the right. No, if you had to quantify it. But the later the rounds, the least it matters. And man, when I drafted Laquan Treadwell, I won the league because that was a late pick, and I dropped him before the season even started, and I won the league.
Nice.
So that's what I say. So it doesn't really, if you draft like a boomer bust rookie late, it doesn't work out. Keyshawn Vaughn. We drafted him in the Throne League.
Yep.
We won.
Still won.
Because we dropped the that's
exactly. We dropped
it's the ones that you keep that really crush you, right?
Right.
Even Michael Carter, who was good, that's a guy you have to keep the whole whole year. You know, you got to think of
Yeah,
that. The
that's
whole year.
true.
And if you spent 6th round on him, 5th round, oh
I
my God.
regretted that. I regretted that
I hear
one.
you.
Yeah, even though he wasn't terrible, that's the thing. It's still that guy who's just clinching, hanging on. Is he helping you win your league? Nah, he's just kind of helping you. Like, yeah, I got a bye week. That's not a league winner.
No,
Something to think of.
that's a good point.
No, I mean, yeah. You know, I'm not. You know, I'm not. Hey, I'm not here to toot my own horn. You know, I did draft Calvin Ridley his rookie year. He did have some good games. But I was just saying, like, I got him late, so that was fine. It's the ones where you do back to back and early. You know, those kill you. Quantity and quality of rookies on your like I want to say, like drafting them early and often is what really ruins your redraft league. All right, so at tier 2, back to my dynasty rookie rankings, guys. We're back to earth here. Tier 2, number 8, I got Christian Watson. Just basically what I've been saying. Like, I mean, I'm a pretty big fan of him as a prospect, risky. It's just really Aaron Rodgers and the long term. I don't have much hate with Christian Watson. I love these boomer bust guys. So if you want to rank him as high as number 6 or 7, that's fine, or you know, whatever. And then I got number 9, Chris Olave, kind of a hater on him. I don't think he's as good as Skyy Moore as a prospect from what I've seen.
Really?
And don't love his landing spot. Lots of rave reviews right now, Mike, if you believe the
I'm an Olave. I like Olave. I think he'll be good.
That rounds out my tier 2. If we want to have some comments there.
I think in terms of the 9 names that you have in your top 9, I have no issues with those 9 being the top 9. I think those are everyone's top. Everyone's got the same list, just in some different order.
Some people sneak in James Cook, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. That's near the bottom, but that's about it. You know.
Yeah,
it's a good list. I like it a lot.
So I'm not too harsh on Olave.
No, I don't think so.
I think there's a lot more Olave truthers.
Yeah, some guys are going to have him higher, probably ahead of these boom bust guys like Christian Watson and Skyy Moore. But like you said, I mean, it's all about the upside. How much do you want to go for the risk? And
but why don't you like Olave? I'm just curious. Like, what's bad about him?
What's bad about him? He doesn't really have. Here's what people say. People say that if you want the upside play, go with Christian Watson and Skyy Moore because they have that boom. If they're going to be good, they're going to be really good.
Olave was really.
I've never heard anybody say these things.
You know, so for Chris,
I just heard people calling me an idiot. Well, you're an idiot. Olave's good. That's
Olave. What I've seen on film from last year, he's really good. He didn't
pop for me. Yeah, but go ahead, Sushi. Finish this analysis for us.
Chris Olave is a very safe, high floor guy. Not the best upside. That's it. So do what you will with that. I'm fine with him, especially in the one league where I did take him. He's pretty much my only player on the roster. I went in full rebuild. So, I mean, I'm down to, have like a safe, for sure going to be in my starting lineup type of wide receiver. Maybe he's not going to be the best wide receiver on my team, but he's going to be a guy that I'm probably going to be starting every week in fantasy football for the next, 4 or 5, however many years.
Well, he's an excellent route runner. That's what I pop.
Yeah,
like,
good route runner. Pretty good speed, too.
Yeah, like he's very fluid. He plays like a veteran player. So I think, depending on how Winston is, he might really be a surprise.
Yeah. Now, it depends on who you ask. People will say that he was the 3rd best wide receiver on his team. And again, that includes Garrett Wilson, who's also available. He's on the Jets now. And this guy is going to be available next year. So they say both of those guys are better than Olave. And obviously, Couch has Wilson ranked in a different tier, and as do I, than Chris Olave. So just another thing to look at, right? As much as we like Olave, he was only the 3rd best receiver on his own team. So trying to play devil's advocate, go both ways, because Mike, I know you're a big fan of him.
He doesn't pop to me, and I don't like his quarterback as much as I like the Packers quarterback or the Chiefs quarterback. So
that's true. If you look at it in that way, yeah.
But I mean, we're disagreeing with him as a prospect. Like for me, I think Skyy Moore pops more. I like him way more as a prospect. I think he has way more upside. And then he just so happened to land on the Chiefs, which I really like. So that's him. I don't think Chris Olave sucks. I just think he's a guy. I think he's just going to be a solid wide receiver. And he's, again, the third best wide receiver on the team right now, if you're not counting Alvin Kamara. And
Right.
I'm a fan of Jameis Winston, but he's no top 10 quarterback. He is not anywhere near how many tiers you got to get to go from Patrick Mahomes and Rodgers to Jameis Winston.
Right. And that's basically the crux of the argument. One of these guys pop more than the other, whereas the other one's just kind of just a guy, could be good, not really exciting.
So I'd much rather get Christian Watson. Now that, I don't know. I'm thinking that might be exciting having him on your team and rooting Sundays, watching fantasy football.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
And then,
I think Watson's going to explode. I don't know. I have just weird feeling about him. I feel like he's going to be a surprise, star.
Bro, on that squad, he could. On that squad, he
I
could.
just have a weird feeling.
I mean, Jordy Nelson was so good on the Packers for a short while, or for a little, I guess 3-4 years. And Christian Watson could do that. He could.
I wanted the Niners to get him so bad. Oh man,
yeah, that would have been great.
That would have been ridiculous.
Danny Gray's
he
I'm very mixed on Danny Gray. I think he's a good player, but I need to look at more film. Even though I do my research, I look at a lot. I'm still not 100% sold on. I like what I see with Danny Gray, but I'm not as sold. I don't know. Opinion still forming with Danny Gray. The
word around OTAs though is that he's just elite speed and
he's fast. Yeah. I saw the corners DBs talking about it. All right, so tier 3, and this will go on forever, but
I think we can stop right after tier 3. Honestly, that's kind of when
we'll name some.
You want to go to
tier
Tolbert?
4. We'll name some tier 4. Yeah. So
okay, sure.
Piss some people off with Tolbert. Yeah.
For sure.
Tier 3 at number 10, I got Alec Pierce, mainly because of what you said. I do prefer wide receivers to running backs, but then again, I think Kenneth Walker on the Seahawks could explode too. That's why I feel like they're doing something there, and they're really building that O-line and building with Kenneth Walker, and then they're going to go get a quarterback, and they are kind of tanking this year. So I think they can build a really good team if they just have a quarterback there. So that's why I do like Kenneth Walker a lot. And so at tier 3, guys, again, rookie dynasty rankings. It's time to poo-poo on my rankings. At number 10, we got Alec Pierce. Didn't have that much production in college. I would say that's his only knock. I think he's going to catch a lot of touchdowns his first year on the Colts with Matt Ryan.
Yeah, good production against good competition, I'd say. When his number was called, he showed up.
That matters. That's huge.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, number 11, I got James Cook. 12, I got Rashad White. 13, David Bell. That's risque. This is tough now. This is where it really got tough to rank. Number 14, I got Dameon Pierce, Texans running back. And number 15, I got George Pickens. That didn't really sit with people well.
I really like Pickens. I think he was a star at Georgia. He's super physical. I think that the Steelers are great at scouting wide receivers. Obviously, their track record is, second to none when it comes to wide receivers. So I think that he is very underrated. I think that he will show, what he's capable of.
Here's my thing. I'm going to use your argument against you. The Steelers are good at scouting wide receivers. I think we can
quarterback, not so much.
I think we can all agree their quarterback room is not, let's just say we don't have a lot of trust in it.
That's true. Okay? Yeah, that's where the issue lies.
So their other wide receivers are pretty good. Yes, Claypool made me cry one night. Okay. I cried myself to sleep. Okay, but he's still there. Little upside.
He's a
bit of a knucklehead. Yeah. He's there. I'm just saying he's there. He's a body.
Deontay Johnson.
Well, of course. Deontay Johnson. Yeah. That's the wide receiver
number one. Yeah.
And then we also like the rookie sleeper
Calvin
Austin. Very intriguing.
He's still a couple years away from being.
I think Calvin Austin is perfect, except he's very undersized.
Right.
Everything
else, that's what I'm saying. I think.
Yeah, it is risky, but everything else I see,
but Pickens is much better.
It's much safer.
Pickens looks like he's an alpha, man.
Yeah, Pickens is an alpha.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I don't know if he's gonna be alpha on this team. They also got Pat Fryermuth and Najee Harris catches passes. So I'm just saying, like, so using that, like, we all know who Najee Harris is. We all know, yeah, the Steelers do draft good wide receivers. They have a lot of them. Do they have the question mark is, do they have a quarterback though? They got a good tight end. They got a pass catching running back. They got 4 wide receivers. So that's why I have Pickens low. He's a guy I'm avoiding. Personally, I just feel very
in Dynasty or
risky.
redraft? Or just
in both,
every
yeah.
format. I think Dynasty's a good Dynasty pick.
I think me putting him at 15 puts me out of the George Pickens race.
Yeah, definitely. Because he's going to go around 9, 10, 11 in that range.
Yeah, he's going 10. Yeah, he's going around 10.
What I would say is, so we had the first 9, same names, slightly different order, whatever, fine. I have Alec Pierce as my 11th best player. You have him as your 10.
Who's your
10?
Both
like him a lot. My 10 is George Pickens. That's why.
Oh, duh.
Yeah.
So I should have been able to solve that. Yeah.
So I am definitely a little high. I'm not gonna say I'm higher than consensus because we just said he's gonna go 9, 10, 11. But I do see, in terms of David Bell versus George Pickens, I'm way more into George Pickens just because, again, the upside type of play, whereas David Bell is kind of like just a guy. It's the Skyy Moore, Chris Olave argument all over again, except I don't think David Bell is as safe as Chris Olave, and I think George Pickens, in terms of like the upside comparison to David Bell.
All right, let's do this right now, and we'll talk about David Bell.
Yeah.
Help me rank this guy. Where do I rank David Bell? Chat too. Mike,
okay.
Everybody. Where do I
don't know much about him, honestly, so I have no idea.
Because I'm scared. This is scary.
Uber productive receiver, Mike, from Purdue. Rondale Moore was there. I think someone got hurt, and then David Bell got his.
Well, is Deshaun Watson throwing him the ball, or is Baker Mayfield?
Let's just assume it's Deshaun Watson to simplify. Otherwise, we
Let's
probably
go Dynasty. Assume Deshaun.
Look at
Watson.
this slow guy, Mike.
That's
look at his combine measurements. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not.
But I'm not like I don't put a ton of stock in combine numbers. Like I think what the film is what you should be.
It's case by case.
Over. Right.
It's case by
but
case.
If his film was great, like I would,
His film is tough to decipher because he was kind of force-fed the ball, man. I mean, Purdue, honestly, they kind of suck completely. Quarterback, offensive line, running back, skill positions, they all sucked except for Rondale Moore a couple years back and now David Bell. So it's very tough to decipher. Like, for example, all throughout the year before the combine, before the draft process, quote unquote, right? I was a big David Bell fan. I played in a Devy league. I had him. I picked him in my Devy league. Really excited about it. I was looking at the production in college. Everything was no red flags. It was all, green check boxes, check marks, everything. And then all of a sudden the combine was no good. And people are saying, oh, well, the production was only there because he was force fed. And now that I'm thinking about it, they're kind of right because they have no one else there. So, I mean, does the tape look good? Yes.
He looks fast on tape, though. What I'm seeing.
Is this more of a devil's advocate type of talk? Because
because I'm more into selling him now. It's like this devil has.
Why didn't defenses? We're looking at the film right now. Why didn't defenses stop him then?
Yeah, exactly. Like if he was, if they knew he was their only player.
At least we know Rondale Moore is like a short, like really fast Debo. Like that's not as easy to stop because he's. He can squat like 500 and run, like a 4.2 40. Yeah. How come they can't stop? They didn't stop David Bell. He got, 1,300 yards in college.
These go into reasons why I like him and why I would take him / put him still in this tier. It kind of goes with the polishedness, like kind of like what we were talking about, the Romeo Dubs. Like he's like a NFL ready.
Look at this versatility. We saw some running back position, and look at that. I mean, right there, that's
good route running, decent catch.
He looks good. He looks like a player to me from what I'm seeing.
That's basically he's a football player. That's like I know that's like what are we talking about? He's a football player, but like what I mean when I say that, right?
Yeah, that's basically. Is Tavon Austin a football player?
Really. In a way.
I think he's a soccer player. He's a really good soccer player.
Yeah. I don't know though. It's I would take Pickens over him just because the upside's higher. But again, I have no issue if you have both of these guys. Let's say you have, like me, George Pickens leading off the tier, David Bell ending the tier. I have no issue with that.
But Bell's gonna at least get the opportunity. Well, while Pickens, you don't know yet. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Bell's for sure gonna get.
That's also a good point. You're right.
What about this comment, Sushane? Smooth says Stefanski probably liked Bell because he run blocks well. Sounds like
okay.
Is this a hater comment? Smell it. Is this
hater? Okay, wait.
Could be hater comment.
This is Smooth. N'Keal Harry exists. Who, he's the run blocking type.
Offensive lineman,
I think it might be a little hate here.
Yeah.
The LOL gave it away.
Yeah. Upon second taste of the comment, I think it's a lot of hate season.
Amar likes him though, so I mean,
he was joking. He was joking.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
one final thing on David Bell, and we can move on. I was saying earlier that I'm more of an ex wide receiver prototype guy. For David Bell, he's for certain going to be one of those like typical chain mover / big slot type guys.
Jarvis,
yeah. So there's not a whole lot of upside there, right? There's a good floor, maybe.
But with Deshaun Watson,
that's another thing with Deshaun Watson.
Potentially,
Deshaun Watson made Will Fuller look like a star. So
this is true. This is true.
He can make magic happen with mediocre wide receivers.
It really hinges on that. Like with Baker Mayfield, David Bell would be borderline not even worth a second-round pick. But with Deshaun Watson, he could be a steal with a second-round pick. So it really hinges on the quarterback play.
I'm going to go with Amar's. I'm going to go with his what he's saying.
I like him, dude. I mean, there's a reason I ranked him crazy high. So I mean, I don't know if I want to rank him below Dameon Pierce. I understand George Pickens, but I've already,
I think he's good. I think right there is good.
I think we got to. I mean, I ranked him below Rachaad White. I think
I think that's fair. 13.
Yeah,
I can even rank him higher, but then just one higher. But I don't know. It's like I feel like it's tied. Like it doesn't matter.
I feel like now we're splitting hairs that really don't need to be split. You know?
Yeah, but right here's good. Right here's good is what we're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Time to get triggered. All right.
Okay.
No trigger. I want you guys to get triggered. It makes for a better show. So tier 4 rookie dynasty rankings. Number 16, I got Jalen Tolbert. Actually, not a huge fan of him as a prospect. I think he's decent. I think he's solid. I mean, we're getting towards the later rounds here in the draft, right? I think he's decent, but I'm a big Dak fan, and I think he'll have a ton of opportunity. He'll be the wide receiver 2, day 1 on the Cowboys. And then worst case scenario, probably wide receiver 3 once Gallup comes back. So I like that. And just today, just to piss some more people off, I put him ahead of John Mechie. Is that how you say it? Mechie?
Yeah.
Mechie.
Mechie, yeah. On the Houston Texans.
Smo says, Spiller's so low that I'm triggered.
That is not low. That's not even low.
I know, it's just funny. Like
he's a big Mechie fan. That's probably why. I don't hate it, man. I think you were expecting me to give you more criticism or us to give you more criticism. I like this. I mean, I'm probably gonna draft John Mechie over Tolbert if you ask me, put gun to my head, but like, yeah, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this move. Mike, what do you think?
Well, I think Spiller's only relevant if something happens to Austin Eckler, obviously.
I have some points, but overall, yes. Yeah, he's a handcuff.
Otherwise, like, why would you? Yeah, you're not gonna really have. If you draft Austin Eckler, you have to draft Spiller. That's basically.
Yeah, you can get him for cheap too, so it's kind of no excuse. Yeah,
exactly. So that's the only way he has value, in my opinion. And then I don't trust the Pats with the Tyquan Thornton. I don't trust their judgment. They're horrible at drafting receivers, so I don't know what's going to happen to him. But
I got him at 19. So I got Jalen Tolbert 16, John Mechie 17, Isaiah Spiller 18, Tyquan Thornton 19, Zamir White 20, and then another incredible handcuff 21, Hassan Haskins. And I actually do want to mention 2 more, and then we'll cut it there. Sure. Number 22, Tyler Algier, who I think is a below average running back prospect. Okay. And so, he's going to be the RB1 on the Falcons, and that position has always been trash the last few years. So that's really trending downwards since they lost the Super Bowl. We're talking guys like Ito Smith, Todd Gurley, Mike Davis. Yeah, it's just been horrible.
It's been bad.
So much that Cordell Patterson has took over that RB room.
Is he going to be the starter running back? I need him to be.
Yeah, he's going to be paid like it.
Thank God.
And this is the guy. So Mike Davis is gone. He's on the Ravens as a camp body, essentially, or RB3, RB4, whatever it is. Tyler Algier. Yeah, he's just, I heard a couple analysts, fantasy analysts talking about him. They like him. And when I see him as he's a below average running back. He's not a guy you want to be excited. Like, he's a guy, if I was the Falcons and I was finally admitting that we need to rebuild and tank, and I was denying it for years, he's the type of running back I'd get to tank this year. I'd pair him up with a quarterback like Marcus Mariota. For sure. Great tank. Guaranteed to come in last place. Yeah. That's it, Tyler. That's the thing. So, yeah, in redraft or, even in Dynasty, sure, if you want to, take a gamble on Algier, that's fine. But, I don't think he has a lot of long-term value. That you can easily draft a random running back the next 2 years, and he'll probably be better than Tyler Algier. But first, you also need an offensive line. So, good luck with that. And you need Cordell Patterson to age because he's better.
Yeah. Only thing I'll add is in terms of what Algier brings skill set wise as a prospect, he's a bigger back, thick build. So, I mean, that's, that'll definitely open up some eyes, but he's not one of those speed guys, right? He's one of those very short, I'll pick up 2, 3, 4 4 yards types of guys. So honestly, I would be very surprised if he averages anywhere near 4 yards a carry. I'm thinking
we know the averages go down once you go to Atlanta.
That's also true. Yeah.
It's very bad.
I would be very shocked if he's anywhere near even 3.5,
When was the last time they had a top 10 running back? Who was their last
Super Bowl year? Devontae Freeman, and then Tevin Coleman was good.
Freeman, yeah. Okay.
Super Bowl year.
Been a while. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
And then number 23, we got couch favorite here, Calvin Austin. Oh, baby. Talk dirty to me, baby.
Do we all have him in Dynasty? 23. I feel like we all have him.
How can we all have him? In separate leagues?
I have him in our in one of our Dynasty leagues, right, Sushane? I got him in TDP.
I gotta check if I have him, but I will say I'll keep this one pretty short because he is.
Did we
draft
a late him? Pick. Sushane, we did. Oh, we missed him.
We missed him. We missed him.
We missed him. I do like him. Yeah, we missed him in the high stakes draft we just had.
Yeah. He is going to be a late pick. So in your typical rookie drafts, probably you're looking at round 3 at the highest, more likely round 4. All I'll say is, look, if you want agility at the receiver position, he's the most agile receiver in this class, and it's not close. There's Treylon Burks, J-Mo, whoever you like, he's not as agile as Calvin Austin. So he's really got that going for him. Again, we talked about this earlier. Steelers, they have some guys there. Deontay, Claypool, George Pickens, we mentioned earlier. Fryermuth, Najee exist. Quarterback play is not that great. So there's a lot of things working against Calvin Austin. But if there's a late guy that you want to take a chance on, I think this would be the guy at the receiver position. I mean, this will be the guy that I would point.
Some reports say that he ran a 4.140 at the combine, when they.
That's almost impossible.
Yeah, so with that, it was kind of weird because we saw when those results were coming in live, we saw a lot of guys just being insanely fast. And then I think 6 or 7 hours later, they got all adjusted and then we're just okay, they're fast, but they're not everyone's breaking the record type.
But there's YouTube video conspiracies that say if you look at it, time, the time he ran a 4.1.
I believe it because, like I said, the dude's super slippery, Yeah. So, he's quick. He's quick. He's agile. So, and he is fast. So, I could believe it, but I'll go with what, in terms of the actual prospect profile statistics, I'm just gonna go with the combine number.
They got him at 4.32 40 time. 98th
4.32?
percentile 40 time.
Yeah, okay.
But he's pretty small. He's 5'8", 170 pounds.
That's the concern. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the concern, and they say his best comp is Hollywood Brown. I think the concern is they don't want him to end up like Tavon Austin, be like, not, dude, you can't really be a wide receiver.
Can he be like Rondale Moore, except maybe better?
We don't know what Rondale Moore's going to be yet. We don't know what Rondale Moore is yet. So that's not even, that's.
But can he be in that tier, like that level? You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Because Rondale Moore, while undersized, he had that insane speed that made him hard to cover.
Yeah, like is that a comp, like a comparable?
Yeah, it could be a comparison, but what I would say is the only difference is that Rondale Moore is more straight, like deep threat speed, like over the top type of vertical, whereas Calvin Austin's going to give you more of that vertical or the horizontal kind of east to west speed.
He's good at vertical catches, though.
Yeah,
this guy's quicker than Rondale Moore. Wow, Rondale Moore could squat more, like a lot more.
Stronger.
Yeah, Rondale Moore's way built more like MJD. This guy's just small. This guy's built more like Hollywood Brown.
Though, man. Calvin Austin. If he gets,
I think Hollywood's too small. Every time I watch him play,
he is small. So here he is doing a crazy return. If you guys can see this, look at this.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That
was so it's like,
wow, that's so fast.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, this is like a good example, and you can see there's literally no one close. Like a linebacker was close to me. He's like, heck no.
They thought the ball was dead. He just picked it up and took it to the house.
Yeah, but when they saw it, I mean, you could just tell it's two different humans there. One guy's like, it looks like one guy's doing the jazzercise, and then another guy's sprinting. Like
there's video of him going up against the top corner, Sauce Gardner, and he played well against Sauce Gardner.
Oh, I gotta check out that one.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this. Like, this is pretty. Like, that's why. Like, I was so sad. I'm still looking at this. I was so sad. Me and Sushane couldn't get him, and it was so late in our rookie and free agency draft. I think it was round 7. And man, like, look at this play right here.
It's pretty good, man.
Does he return? Does he do kick returns?
We literally just watched the return. We just talked about it.
Oh, was that it? Okay.
Yeah,
that was a return. Yeah.
Like he was their main return guy the whole year?
I assume so. Looks like
I can check that out for you. Give me a second.
I don't know if he was the main.
Because I think that's how he would make an impact on the Steelers.
He seems like he may have just returned punts for them or something like that.
Okay, I just didn't know like how good he was.
I mean, he can definitely return. There's like, so as far as like, forget what he did, but on the Steelers, I think Ray McLeod is on the
Niners now. Yeah, so they lost.
I think
he might be able to step in.
I don't know if he was okay. So that he would.
Yeah. So this would be a good
easily replace him, and then they'll see like, all right, can you be wide receiver 4? Can you be wide receiver 3? And move up the depth.
Assuming he doesn't get hurt on returns.
Oh
then
God,
he will be good.
Oh,
yeah.
But he did return some kicks, but mostly punts. By the way.
Okay, punt return.
They wanted to use him on offense. That's probably why. So he can definitely return probably both on the Steelers.
Yeah, I mean, look at like guy where it's you just want to give him the ball, and then he can make something happen.
Yeah, his speed pops on film. It's like, wow.
You can tell how fast the defenders are and how fast he is. Like you can he's like 2 separate gears.
Yeah,
than him.
Very interesting.
He's a good player, good prospect.
And so I guess let me talk about Isaiah Spiller just really quick. So there's a little bit argument in the chat about Isaiah Spiller or debate, I should say. So Isaiah Spiller, he does have a little bit more value than a handcuff. You don't really want to start him. Here's the thing. The Chargers defense improved. The Chargers as a team improved. The Chargers have no depth at running back behind Austin Eckler. So there is going to be times where Isaiah Spiller, even with Eckler healthy, Isaiah Spiller is used in the goal line. Isaiah Spiller is used only in the fourth quarter when the Chargers have a huge lead. Because, you're looking at the AFC West, like all these teams are stacked, this and that. Yeah, but the Chargers are going to be playing teams other than the AFC West, too. And they're going to beat teams by 4 touchdowns. here and there on occasion. And those games, they're not going to have Austin Eckler in there in the fourth quarter. So, yeah, he can have some spot starts. And look, let's not get into injuries too much. Any running back has a really good percent chance of missing games. Any running back. 50% chance. We actually statted this. We charted this. Let's just say Austin Eckler is going to have a 50% chance to miss at least one full game due to injury. All right. So that's why I have Isaiah Spiller here. And the most important point, I think he's a slightly above average running back. I think he's actually decent. And that is a compliment because these running backs suck this year, a lot of them. So I think Isaiah Spiller is a decent running back. I like what I see from him. I was surprised to see that he can actually catch some passes too. And Hassan Haskins, another like great handcuff. He is Derrick Henry, a poor man's Derrick Henry. It's exactly what he is. Not going to catch a lot of balls, north and south, one cut, and is really good. So Hassan Haskins should be another really good handcuff. And D'Onta Foreman is on the Panthers because one of my favorite darlings ended up sucking last year, Chuba Hubbard. I don't know what's up with that. There's always an anomaly. Always an anomaly. Usually the backup running back gets the job done, but not Chuba. He sucked so much that they had to get D'Onta Foreman.
Sad.
Yeah. Just to add on what you're saying with those two running backs, in my opinion, situation aside, I think they're the two most talented backs not named Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker. So I think you're on the right two guys, Couch. Just from a talent perspective. Spiller and Hassan Haskins, I think those are just from a talent, 3 and 4.
You hate James Cook.
I'm not a James Cook.
Where do you have him ranked?
Probably.
I like James Cook.
Probably like around 14.
He has the pedigree. His brother's Dalvin Cook. Like he has to be good.
God, this pedigree stuff.
Dude, he screams like Trey
Kellen Winslow Jr. had the pedigree.
Oh God.
Oh no, don't go there.
Okay.
Let's not go there, dude.
That's not good. I'm not as
God.
I'm
Nobody Google that.
Yeah,
No.
No. Oh God, Mike. I made a bad joke. Now, what you said is like people are gonna actually Google it and be like, "Oh, that's horrible." Don't actually do not Google it. Trust me, do not. I've Googled it. Don't Google it. Yeah. So some people really like James Cook. I don't love him, but he's really good at doing what he does. He's he can make a lot of plays. He's an incredible pass catcher, and he will be used sporadically in the run game. That actually sounds kind of bad.
Yeah,
I'm trying to pump him up, and that sounds bad. And that they just got Tavon Austin, and they have I forget his name, Khalil Shakir.
Yeah, I'm high.
Who's similar kind of to
you're
Tavon.
Low. You're too low on Khalil Shakir.
Yeah, Khalil Shakir should be above Justin.
He's gonna get no usage. You guys are crazy.
He is. He's
in
going
fantasy. You can't even start him. These guys are
will be able to at some point.
If you're going based on redraft, I get it. But like 2 years down the line,
I agree.
3 years down the line,
there's no way you could have him below Justin Ross. Like that's crazy.
That's
okay.
crazy.
That's
crazy,
the one. Okay,
dude.
So can I put him? Should I put Justin Ross at 36?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
I'm just look. They got James. Okay, and they got James Cook. He's gonna do kind of similar plays. They got Tavon Austin. It's gonna
Khalil Shakir might be their starting slot.
Okay, I'm not gonna go that far.
Dude, Beasley's gone. He's going to be that guy.
Jamison Crowder is the number 2. Jamison Crowder is a younger Cole Beasley. He's the number 2 wide receiver. There is no hate.
How long though?
There is no hate on Khalil Shakir as a prospect. It's just that there's Stephon Diggs. There's Jamison Crowder, who's a younger Cole Beasley. I think a lot of people would say he's better. I would just say he's about the same, but younger. And then you got James Cook. He's going to do a lot of the same things Shakir is going to do.
Shakir will be their starting slot receiver, though. I guarantee you that.
And then you have Josh Allen, who runs the ball a lot, and they're going to use other running backs. I just don't think that.
He's underrated.
I guess if I think in a year or two he's going to be a starter and used consistently in that offense. I'd rather have Rondell Moore
I don't know.
than
That was
him.
a tough one.
Yeah, and then you got also Gabe Davis, who I don't really like, but he is going to be. He doesn't suck. I just don't like Gabe Davis because he's going to be like the number 4 option there. You also got Dawson Knox. I mean, this team is stacked, and they have a defense. Their
They
defense
throw a
is
lot
great.
though. So if he is a slot receiver, the starting slot receiver, he'll have enough production to be relevant. That's all
Well, he won't be like not when Crowder's on. I think Crowder will be the starting wide receiver at least this year.
We'll see, but it's not going to be. I mean, long term, he'll be the guy. He'll be that guy.
Couch, you were saying earlier that Patrick
got
Mahomes
Isaiah
is one of
McKenzie,
those
too.
quarterbacks who can support. You were saying earlier Patrick Mahomes is one of those quarterbacks who can support 3 weapons. We'll call it. You think Josh Allen could also do that, or is it just
for sure?
Josh Allen could support 3, but he's different because he runs it in himself more than a lot. That I was talking about Peyton Manning, Patrick Mahomes. They don't run it in as much. He can run it in, but we're talking about 7 receivers. I'm not talking about 3. I'm talking about Dawson Knox, Gabe Davis, Isaiah McKenzie's like wide receiver 40 now on the team. Okay, whatever. We got Stephon Diggs, Jamison Crowder in the slot. We have Khalil Shakir. James Cook is essentially a slot receiver. Right. Yeah. And then what did I mention? Gabe. I know I'm forgetting somebody, but there's other running backs as well. Josh Allen's a running back. It's just that's all I'm saying is like this. Okay, even if he works out somehow, this is the type of guy who will give you 0 when you start him, and then he'll give you Myles Gaskin on the odd week.
I think you're underrating him, but we'll see. Only time will tell. I don't think he should be that low behind Danny Gray either. Like that's crazy to me.
I have Danny Gray ahead, but I'm okay. I'm okay with that.
He's a guy. Yeah. I'm just avoiding just because of that, just because of usage. But that's fine. I do. I really like him as a player. I do. That's just me. I think this team's just balling. It's just gonna go to depending on what the play is, what the defense it looks like. What it's looking like. Khalil Shakir will be used, and unfortunately, when you start him, he'll put up 0, and when you don't, he'll put up 21 fantasy points. That's the type of player I think. If you think he's gonna be like Deebo Samuel in 4 years,
no, but I just think he's gonna be the starting slot wide receiver on a throwing team with a great quarterback. So I think he has a chance to at least be relevant, a fantasy relevant player. Maybe similar
than Couch, based on what you're saying.
Dynasty best ball? Do they have that? Do they have those type of leagues? Are we in a high stakes Dynasty best ball? Yeah, that is actually a great point. This is kind of a sexy pick in Dynasty best ball.
Yeah,
because like I said, I do like the team. I do like the player. But it's just, how do you start? Like, for me, I don't know when to start him, and it's just going to be painful. That's
maybe injury will give him his opportunity.
Yeah. 4 injuries, Mike. That's what I'm counting. 4 injuries, though. There's just too many. There's a lot of Knox truthers, Dawson Knox, and there's a lot of Gabe Davis truthers in the chat. I don't even like those guys, but they're there. And they can do stuff.
Yeah, I think he'll rise above though. I have just a feeling about him.
Oh,
and he's in a good situation.
This is funny though. This was new. Should have covered this in the beginning. Apparently, according to news, Zach Wilson sucks. He's like completing 1 pass.
Yo, so which Patriots beat writer did you read that from?
No, it's all over Twitter. It's all over Twitter, bro. But it's literally this like we're not putting much weight into this. Like, I really wish I didn't listen to any Jamar Chase. The stripes on the ball. He can't
wrong on that one.
Oh no, it's all good. Let him work it out. Zach Wilson's still young. He hasn't even played 16 NFL games.
He can't even grow any facial hair yet. Like let him
Well, that may never happen.
Let him at least hit puberty first so that he can
Zach Wilson
command respect in that lineup, in that huddle.
All right. That was enough. Wow. That segment took a while. On to hack my lineup. So we have rules for hack my lineup. All right. So rule number 1, I'm going to type it. Screenshot your dynasty team and tag me on Twitter at Fantasy Couch and use hashtag spelled hashtag out, whatever. Hack my dynasty. So do that. So that's rule number 1. If you want us to give you dynasty advice on this podcast. Rule number 2, you must be present during the live stream. Is that it? That's the only 2 rules.
I think that's good to go.
That's it. Yeah. We brought you up though. I guess the tagging is optional. Yeah, you don't have to tag. We got yours. We have so do we have any of these guys here? Aaron G, Lost in Space. Who is this? Hollywood, Couch Captain. We have Toast. This is Toast team.
I know Ty was in here. I saw him say something earlier.
Okay. So this is Toast team though, right here. So let's see. Please raise your hand if we have anybody left. I mean, we don't want to do. I know I just introduced the rules now, but we don't want to do anybody who's not here, right? We have 4 teams, and we'll find. I feel like we'll get more people.
Yeah.
So we can always do them later.
That's also true. Yeah.
Are you good with doing the 4 though, Sushen? You're good if we have to.
Any
of the 4, I mean.
Yeah, we can do any of the 4. Maybe let's do 2 of them at the most. 3,
yeah, 2 is no 2. No, let's do.
Probably good. Yeah.
So you want to do Hollywood and Toast?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay,
both of them are couch captains.
This is from Hollywood. Hack my dynasty. So this is the segment, guys, where we are going to give you dynasty advice. So just screenshot your team, tweet it out with hashtag hack my dynasty. If you're live present on the show, Sue Shane and the podcast crew will review your team and give you some direction on what to do.
Can I drop out for this segment?
If you got to go, yeah.
Yeah, I have to go.
All right, man.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, guys.
See you guys.
Everyone say bye to Mike. Mike's going to be a really good slot receiver when he grows up.
Oh, yeah.
Mark my words.
That's for certain.
He was going hard on Khalil Shakir. Well,
Hey,
it's a fun. He's a fun.
Like
he's a fun player, bro. But a lot has to happen though.
No, I agree with you. I mean, after listening to what you were saying, there's a lot of stars that need to be aligned in the right place, and that's never a good place to start when you're talking about a guy.
Also, he is a very poor man's Debo, or kind of like Tavon Austin type of player, which is not bad. He was drafted late, right? So it's like he's good, but it's like I don't know about the that type of production.
It could happen. I see a path to it. I understand the path is difficult, but it could happen. Anyway, are we going to start off with Toast, or are we going to start off with Ty?
I have Hollywood here. Okay, so this is Hollywood's team. He's got guys on his team.
Before you begin, I do want to let you know this is a 14-team league. So that's one thing you should know about this.
Okay, typically 12, sometimes 10. You think it's even rare to see a 14 than a 10.
Right.
So he's got Jalen Hurts, Derrick Henry, Zeke, Stephon Diggs, McLaurin, Deontay Johnson, Zach Ertz, Nick Chubb, Tyler Boyd. Ooh, we have kickers and defense. Rams kicker and Rams defense. Bench is looking great too. Starters look great. Carr, Hunt, Pollard, Chuba. Okay. DJ Chark, Russell Gage. Some of the and then Taxi Squad, not really anybody worth mentioning, I guess. Romeo Doubs, Dameon Pierce, Kyron Williams, Kyle Phillips, and they did have their 2022 because we just
yes.
So doesn't have any early 2023 picks, no first rounders, no second rounders, a ton of thirds, ton of fourths next year too,
all across the years.
He's got a first in 2024, but that's about it. And a first in 20. Okay. So he's got the others are normal. He's got a first there, but he just has no first and second 2023s. And he's got a ton of third and fourths in 2023s.
Which aren't going to be useful, honestly, in the long run for anything. I mean, maybe you can hit on one singular dart out of those 5 picks you have, which would be great. But really, I mean, with no 2023 first and second couch, and with the old running backs that you have, I think this is a perfect formula to take those first round picks that you do have in 2024, and maybe if you can sell it, it's tough because it's so early, but maybe even in 2025 as well. I would take both of those and try to get players to win. When I look at these running backs, Derrick Henry is good. He has Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. So, I mean, you tell me what's the upside and the downsides of starting them both. But I know for at least in terms of like the safety, you're always going to have, he also has Pollard and Zeke. So you're always going to have 3 running backs in any given week. You're going to have Derrick Henry. You're going to have at least one of Chubb and Hunt, and then one of Zeke and Pollard. So, I mean, at least there is some stability in the running back room. I just wanted your thoughts on that. I mean, what do you think of rostering both Chubb and Hunt on a team?
Rostering's great, especially in deep bench, dynasty. This is both deep bench, deep league, dynasty. Roster both is the way to go, basically.
Okay.
But you don't want to start both.
You don't want to start.
It just hurts your upside. Yeah, it's just boring. It's like you're trying to barely win.
Makes sense.
You need a little bit more upside than that.
Yeah.
What's great is, like we said, out of these running backs we listed, let's just be real. You have Nick Chubb, Zeke, and Henry. At least one or two of them is gonna miss time. So boom, put him in. And do you have Hassan? Does he have Hassan?
He does not have Hassan Haskins. Yeah. That's one of the first recommendations that you
could go get him for cheap, hopefully.
He's got all those 3rd round picks. Just use one of those, maybe 2 of them if you want to add a 4th.
If you can even trade 2 4ths, that would be
that'd be nice.
Somehow 2 4ths, and maybe you can have a throwaway player in there. That would be great. Yeah. Velus Jones to a Bears fan, or I don't know.
Exactly.
Brevin Jordan. That would be great to get Hassan Haskins.
Right. The only thing, not concerned, but if you look at his wide receiver room, Stephon Diggs, solid, perfect. Deontay Johnson, Terry McLaurin looks pretty good. After that, it's a little bit of a fall off. I mean, we're looking at maybe a guy like DJ Chark or maybe Tyler Boyd as the next best receiver. So I'm thinking maybe, see how the season goes. If Derrick Henry and Nick Chubb and Zeke all get hurt, I mean, it's kind of tough. But assuming that doesn't happen, and assuming your team does well, because it looks like it's going to do well, maybe, once you're in that week 5, week 6 range, and your team's healthy, it looks good, you're winning by a lot, maybe that's when you want to kind of think about throwing a 2024 first to a rebuilding team and go get a receiver that you can put in for a little bit of a formidable, or maybe even, DJ Chark, he's only 25 years old. He's not old per se. Trade him and a first, get a better receiver. Just kind of upgrade the quality near the back end of the roster. Because, I mean, you do have the depth at the running back position, which you need to win. But at the receiver position, the firepower is good, not great. I think you can make the firepower great with trading away those future first-round picks.
You can also trade Russell Gage week 4 to 6. He's going to ball out with Chris Godwin out. So you can
definitely.
The same example you did with Chark, you can do with Gage. And here's another detail. You got 2 flex spots. You got Tyler Boyd in flex. You always pretty much need to start a wide receiver in one of these. So that's why you do need a wide receiver. Otherwise, you're starting one of those handcuff running backs.
Yeah, true. Other than that, I mean, it's a good team. I don't see any other. Yeah, win now for sure. No 2023 first. Like my kind of MO is if you don't have your 2020, if you don't have any 2023 firsts, you probably want to win now. There's some exceptions. Like if you have like a super young team, maybe you just hoarded 2021 and 22 picks and you punted your 2023. So like you kind of have like a very young core already. But most of the time, if you don't have your 23 pick, probably you're in a position to win now. And such as that with this team. Jalen Hurts, Derek Carr, 1 QB. I think we're fine.
All right. Hopefully that helps you out. Yeah. Hollywood. I like this team though, but it does need some tweaking, some minor adjustments.
Yep. We're close though. We're close.
All right. And then it is a 14-team league. That's why it's so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so we have Toast Team right here, Dynasty Squad. He's got characters such as Mac Jones, J.K. Dobbins, Dare Ogu,
Dare
Dare
Ogunbowale. No thanks.
Ogunbola.
Yep.
Oh god.
No thanks.
Chris Godwin is starting too. Chris Godwin, Amon Ra, Hawkinson, MVS, Jamison Williams,
Got the
Noah
whole
Fant,
Detroit. Jeez.
Tim Patrick, Gardner Minshew, Kellen Mond, Marv
That's
Jones,
Marv Jones.
Treadwell, Khalif Raymond, Kendrick Bourne. This is all crap. He's even got Demarius Thomas as a RIP.
That must be like a homage.
RIP. I mean, this is obviously tanking. He's getting a 0 from Demarius Thomas, another Brevin Jordan, Tommy Tremble, John Bates. Okay.
So does he have a lot of rookie picks then? Yeah.
He's got. Okay, this is more than me. Hold your horses here. Hold on to something.
Is this
six first round picks.
Oh, baby.
Next year. And that's not it. He's got
6 seconds as well.
6.
Okay.
Second. That's an entire roster. Your entire starting lineup could be built off just firsts and seconds. That's coming in about 12 months.
Now, let me ask you this. I know we said earlier, let's do ties, rebuild, and toast. This is going to be heavily into let's look at the 2023 class and what players are available. We could do that, or we could do like a more win now one where we just focus on some trades. Because for toast, the only advice that's really feasible to give at this point is which direction to go to in 2023. Like what
we could do that. Do we have 2023 rankings from somebody?
You can probably search them somewhere.
Has that?
Because I mean, I have my own, but they're not perfect. You know what I mean? Let me see if I can.
Football Guys is somewhat legit. Hopefully, it's not a paywall. No, what is this? Way too early. 2023 mock draft. This ain't it, is it?
Yes, but it is super flex, and it does look accurate. Yeah, this is definitely.
Recent. Is this not a super flex league? No, this is a super flex league.
Is it?
Tim Patrick's.
Oh
yeah, it's super flex.
Okay, it's super flex, baby. Oh god.
Yeah, Football Guys is decent.
We got some problems then. Okay. So yeah, this is basically what it's going to look like. You have your 2 stud quarterbacks and that dope running back at the top. Going to have some receivers, a couple more running backs in the middle, the rounds. And then based on if it's tight end premium or if it's not tight end premium, you'll have 2 tight ends. That's pretty much your round 1. Does he have any 2024 picks? I don't know.
I think he does.
Oh, he does. Okay, this makes it very easy for me.
Oh, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Very nice.
2024 first and multiple seconds too.
Okay, Toast. I need you to trust me on this one. Trust the process, Philadelphia 76ers. I know you're a New York guy, but trust the process here. The running backs are going to be very tempting in 2023. Bijan Robinson, Zach Evans, Sean Tucker. There's going to be a lot of tempting guys, but clearly you're rebuilding. You want to wait as long as you can for running backs, as long as you're not sacrificing quality. And it just so happens, in my opinion, I think that overall, if you look at not just comparing individual players, but you take all of the running backs from 2023 and all of them from 2024, I think 2024 is a little bit better and a little bit deeper. So if you punt running backs or maybe just take only 1 out of 6 picks that you have in 23 and you focus on other positions, focus on wide receivers, focus on a tight end, maybe you get yourself a quarterback. Then in 2024, you can scoop up all these running backs with the depth that the class offers, maybe get another quarterback, take another swing there, and maybe, grab a receiver or a tight end as you need fit based on whatever roster holes and needs you have left at that time. That's basically what I'm thinking, because you have 6 2024s as well, and that's a much deeper – your chances of getting a good running back is a little bit higher in 2024.
That's
and also
he can get 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I don't
He
think
could-
that's that stupid.
No,
Because
he
there's a
could-
good chance he might have the first, second, and third pick.
Oh wow, really?
Possibly. He's got
Top
6.
three?
He's got 6, and he's got the first on lock, it seems like. I never
Yeah, he's got the
seen him.
first one on lock for sure.
So there's a good chance.
If he has the
can-
1, 3, 4 though, Couch, you got to understand one thing. Based on how it's looking right now, if you have the 1, 3, 4, you're not going to get 2 quarterbacks.
What the heck does 1, 3, 4 mean?
1.1, 1.3, 1.4.
Oh, you mean not the 1.0?
Not the 1, 2, 3. But if you don't have the 2 and you have the 4 instead, you're going to miss out on that second quarterback. And there's a big difference between whoever you like between CJ Stroud and Bryce Young and the guy Mike was bringing up a week ago, Will Levis.
What do you think? 99% chance those 2 quarterbacks will go 1 and 2?
1, 2, 1. So that running back is also a thing. You know what I mean?
Bijan,
That Saquon
yeah.
Barkley type guy. So those 3 guys, I think it's 100% chance they go 1, 2, 3 in some order. 100% chance.
That's all I'm saying is there's
Yeah.
a chance. Like, so instead of getting Bijan, I don't know if there's a trade chance. So much can happen. And then just in college this season, just saying he can possibly get 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah,
The top
definitely.
2.
The top 2, definitely.
And it's a good move because typically rookie quarterbacks do bad and you're tanking again. They're going to last 20 years, hopefully.
I would say the best move actually is to get because he's also going to have the 1.1 in 2024. We know that.
Mhm.
I think the best move would be take 1 quarterback in 2023 and then take the better quarterback in 2024. We'll talk about him a little bit down the road, but I think the best quarterback in all of college football right now, the top 2 quarterbacks in all of college football right now, both are in the 2024 class.
What's so bad about getting 3?
There's no, yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
You got
look,
3.
I mean,
Yeah,
he's-
exactly. You know, yeah.
You can take risks like this because you're tanking. Like I said, quarterbacks do bad as rookies. The best position that does best as rookie is running back. The position with the least career span is running back. And look at what Toast just said. At least 2 of the picks, at least top 3. So
That's funny.
yeah, he might not have 1, 2, 3, but he's gonna have 1 and 3 or 1 and 2. So he's gonna have some of these guys. And I think taking 2 quarterbacks, that's another thing. If one of them ends up being a bust, it's very likely the other one's going to be good.
Yeah, that's true.
So and then you just get that out the way. You have so many of these picks.
He's got players too. It's not like he's starting from total scratch and he needs to hit on, like, let's say 9 out of 12 of these picks. Like, he's got 4 or 5 guys. He's got Mac Jones, J.K. Dobbins, Amon-Ra, T.J. Hawkinson, J-Mo. Like, he's got some guys on.
Chris Godwin as well.
Yeah, Chris Godwin, exactly. Like, and some of these guys, like, maybe a rebuilding team's not going to have Chris Godwin in his final roster, but that's still trade value. Like, there's still value on the team. So you have stuff to work with as well. It's not like you're starting with nothing and you have to hit on all these picks. You have the luxury to do this type of stuff.
I know how it feels like to be in a super flex league without a quarterback. It's the worst feeling. It's the worst. Anything, like, everything else is different. Like, but just not to have a quarterback. For those that haven't played super flex,
yeah,
you go to waivers. I mean, what's the quarterback on the Falcons name? Felipe Franks.
Felipe Franks.
He's not available in my league. Like, he was just
not.
recently dropped. So last year, Felipe Franks was rostered the whole year. Kellen Mond rostered the whole year. Kyle Trask not on waivers. So yeah, the best guy on waivers was Taylor Heineke. Like, that was it. Like, these guys, like, somebody picked up Ryan Fitzpatrick in one of our leagues like 2 weeks ago in our Couch Empire League. Like, that's how, like, you can't find a guy. And that guy just retired. Like, you just can't find a guy. So once you get your quarterback game straight, you can focus on the other positions. I feel like maybe he should trade J.K. Dobbins too. Only if you get something good. Like I said, I don't like trading players for nothing.
I feel like Dobbins is kind of like Saquon Barkley, where, like, if you just wait till like week 6, his trade stock will go back up to a healthy enough state where you can trade him. But yeah, I would agree. You don't want a running back this early in your rebuild. So he's definitely a guy you want to trade away.
This is Hollywood, right?
Yeah.
Tyler, because it's Hollywood Ty.
Yep.
We just did yours, Hollywood. So just watch the replay. It's right before Toast. And are we done with Toast or?
I think
Just a
that's
little more.
about it. Yeah, because 2024. Yeah, basically the bottom line for you, Toast, is just, I mean, feel free to take running backs next year. They're going to be really good. They're going to be really tempting, but don't feel like you have to do it, because you can completely, totally build, get a tight end, get wide receivers, get some quarterbacks, and then just punt most of your running backs away for the 2024 class, which would be smart in my opinion.
Here's a question that's slightly unlikely to happen, but let's say just so he understands better. So it's just totally hypothetical, I guess. He's on the clock. Somebody really wants Bijan, right?
Yeah.
He gets a good trade offer. Does he take that?
I mean, how good is good, right?
That's what I'm saying. All this is hypothetical because the dude might be lying and this and that, but it's good. Like he's using he's a smart guy. He's using his brain. It's good. It's good. Does he take that?
I would, because there is a more than 0% chance that Bijan Robinson becomes Trent Richardson. There is a greater than 0% chance that is a thing. So if you told me, like, you gave me an insane haul, that I would say, yes, this is good value. I am getting what Bijan Robinson could be worth in terms of his upside, then yeah, I'm going to take that. Because Bijan Robinson, at the end of the day, 0 yards, 0 carries, 0 touchdowns, 0 everything.
Well, there you have it, folks. Bijan is Trent Richardson.
He's tradable. He's tradable, but hey, make sure you're getting
You heard it here first on the Fantasy Couch podcast. We've been going strong. This has been a great segment, though. We hope to do a couple more next week. Again, if you want to hop on Hack My Lineup, tweet at me, Fantasy Couch. Use hashtag Hack My Dynasty. I think I said Hack My Lineup before. Hashtag Hack My Dynasty. We'll review your team, give you advice for what you're going to do. We're going to end it there, though, guys. Catch you on the next one.